Today on September 15th, 3 minutes left, a person who is in heaven and who you love very much asks you to open this urgently. Please don't skip. Archangel Michael says the clock is louder tonight and its sound is not metal but memory. The seconds move like footsteps in a hallway you once knew by heart. A beloved presence crosses that hallway and reaches for you with warmth that outlives every goodbye. A veil trembles between worlds and your name moves through it like a bird finding its first win. Your heart already knows what your mind tries to ignore. Love has not left you and love is asking for your attention now. The message arrives as a hush before the storm inside your chest. It carries the scent of a room that felt like home even when you were lost. It carries the quiet bravery of someone who once held your hand and still holds your life with invisible strength. Few minutes would frighten the world but not your spirit. Your spirit understands that truth needs only a breath when the timing is right. This is that breath and it is here to change the weight you carry. The presence speaks without lips and yet every syllable is clear. It says you have survived more nights than the sky can count and you will survive this one too. It says the morning you need is waiting at your door and it knocks with patience, not pressure. You are not late for your own destiny. You are exactly on the edge where courage becomes proof. The proof is the tenderness that still reaches you from the place where pain cannot live. A chair sits where they once sat and the air around it glows. The glow is not a vision made of wishful thinking but a certainty made of bond. The bond does not break when a heartbeat stops because real love is older than any clock. The voice reminds you of the promises you made to yourself in quieter years. It reminds you of the small dreams you placed on a shelf and forgot beneath dust and duty. It tells you to lift them again with both hands and treat them like living things. A letter is folded inside your chest and its seal breaks now. The first line says you are forgiven for everything you did not know how to do. The second line says you are still the answer to a prayer you have not yet dared to speak. You feel a warmth at your shoulder like a familiar palm resting there. The warmth steadies your breath and widens your lungs. You breathe in and the room becomes gentler. The message asks you to release the scene you replay at night where you wish you had spoken different words. The message says you gave what you could with who you were and that was enough for love. The message says regret is a closed door and mercy is a window thrown open to clean air. There is guidance for your next steps and it arrives in 3 soft instructions. First, remember who you are before fear told you a smaller story. Second, return the keys of your worth to your own pocket and never loan them to doubt again. Third, repair the bridge inside you that splits between hope and hesitation. Lay a plank of action across it today. Walk the plank as if it were a golden street because your feet create the road while moving. You are called to tidy a space that has held too much ache. Fold the shirts. Clear the shelf. Open the curtains, change the water in the flowers. Every small order you create on the outside becomes a new rhythm for your inner room. A picture frame becomes a window rather than a wall. You look with love instead of absence. You honor the story by living the chapter you are in. The presence brings a memory where laughter shook the table. A moment is not gone because time did not steal it. Time only taught you how valuable it was. You are told to let the laughter live again in the small rituals that make a home. Stir the pot slowly and add extra care. Place an extra plate for gratitude and let the air learn your new psalm. The message turns to the ache that rises when night deepens. It meets the ache with a blanket woven from courage and kindness. It wraps you in it and tells you to rest without guilt. You see a road with mile markers that glow like candlelight. Each marker is a step you already took and survived. The glow shows you that progress is not invisible even when silence tries to hide it. The presence asks you to stop negotiating your worth with memories that no longer know your name. It asks you to stop paying rent to shame for a room you do not live in. It asks you to become the landlord of your own peace. There is a list of gentle tasks for the coming days and none are heavy. Call the person who makes your laughter easy. Drink water as if your body were a garden and you promised to keep green. Write one page where you speak to yourself like a dear friend. Put that page in the pocket you reach for most. Touch it each time you doubt and feel your own handwriting pull you back to center. Return an object to its rightful place and feel how rightness sounds. It sounds like a soft click and a quiet yes. You deserve a life filled with soft clicks and quiet yes. The presence mentions a habit that steals your light and asks you to lay it down. You lay it down like a stone taken from your shoe. You stand taller because walking should not hurt like that. Your nights will not always be this loud, your days will not always be this heavy. Your spirit will not always be this tired. A window opens and the breeze carries the scent of rain that has not fallen yet. The scent promises renewal. Renewal keeps its promises when you give it room. You are asked to forgive someone whose voice still echoes with old thunder in your head. The forgiveness is not a gift for their hands but a key for your own lock. You turn the key and something inside you breathes again. The message reaches for memories that used to cut and turns them into feathers. The edge softens and the story loosens its grip. You are not trapped inside the scene anymore because the door stands open. You place a hand over your heart and notice it answers back. It answers with a steady rhythm that says keep going. It answers with a patient drum that says you are guided. The present speaks of love as a field that keeps growing. You walk into that field and the grass bows to greet you. The horizon waits with new colors you have not yet learned to name. There is counsel for work and the hours that ask for your attention. Bring your care like a lantern and let it shine on one task at a time. The lantern will not go out because the oil is your purpose. The message smiles at your kindness and asks you to keep it unhidden. Kindness is the language the soul hears most clearly. Speak it to yourself first and watch how your life answers. An old photograph turns into a living doorway. You do not step backward through it because the past is not a country to move back into. You carry the warmth forward and let it light your current path. You are told to honor your rest as fiercely as your goals. Rest is not the same as quitting. Rest is the courage that refills your hands. You remember a promise you made to be gentle with yourself. That promise becomes a boundary with a bell that chimes when crossed. The bell chimes softly tonight and you listen. The presence thanks you for every time you stayed when leaving would have been easier. It thanks you for every prayer you transform into effort. It thanks you for every dawn you met with a brave face. A soft urgency rises because the message carries timing. It says this is your hour to choose light with both hands. It says the world conspires with goodness when you dare to meet it. You are invited to release the title of the story you outgrew. You are invited to step into a chapter where your name is spoken with honor. You are invited to trust that the pen is now in your steady fingers. The presence places 3 gifts at your feet. The first is clarity that arrives like clean water. The second is courage that arrives like a steady flame. The third is companionship that never fades. You feel it like a warmth that does not need a body to be real. You feel it like a sunrise that does not need permission to rise. You are reminded that grief is love with nowhere to go. Tonight the love finds a place again because you decide to live in a way that honors it. You become the home your love needed. A letter to your future self appears in your mind. It says you kept going and the road opened. It says joy found your door because you left the porch light on. The presence asks you to notice the signs that have already gathered on your path, a repeated number at the right time and a song that reaches you at the exact moment you need it. A stranger's kindness that arrives like a message in motion. You will move with more peace because you decide to move with more peace. You will attract steadiness because you become steady. You will witness small miracles because you keep your eyes open for them. Your home do not need to be large to be holy. Your steps do not need to be perfect to be blessed. Your story does not need to be loud to be true. The presence touches the place in you that still feels 12 years old and hurting. It tells the child the storm has passed. It tells the child the roof is repaired and the sun is patient. A new habit grows from a single brave choice. You choose to speak well of yourself more often than not. You choose to honor the quiet winds that build a strong life. You understand now that endings are doorways for beginnings wearing different clothes. You welcome the doorway and step through with a steady spine. You breathe out the fear and breathe in permission. The wind outside shifts and you sense a turning. This turning belongs to you because you asked for it with tears and grit. The answer arrives now and it feels like relief. The presence looks at your hands and blesses the work they will do. It blesses the meals you will cook and the words you will write. It blesses the care you will offer to those who cannot repay you. Your days begin to gather meaning the way dawn gathers light. You see colors you used to miss because sorrow dimmed your eyes. The colors return and you remember their names. You stand at your window and realize the view has not changed but you have. The world mirrors your bravery back to you. The mirror does not lie when courage is present. You accept that love did not disappear on the day the world went quiet. You accept that love only changed rooms. You accept that love sent this message to pull you forward. 2 minutes become 1 and the urgency becomes trust. Trust tells you that your steps are held. Trust tells you that the path is allowed to be soft. You extend compassion to the version of you that could not carry everything. You release the heavy suitcase of regret on the side of the road. You walk lighter because the road finally belongs to your feet. The presence asks you to keep a small ritual to remember this night. Light a candle and whisper gratitude. Place your hand over your heart and promise to return to this peace when storms rise again. You do not need to fight every shadow. Some shadows simply leave when you stand in a brighter place. Tonight you stand there and the room understands. You gather your scattered pieces and realize they have always wanted to be whole. Wholeness greets you like an old friend at the station. You walk out together and the air feels cleaner. You notice that your name sounds stronger when you say it with kindness. You notice that your shoulders drop when you allow comfort. You notice that your future arrives faster when you stop arguing with it. A door opens inside your courage and you cross into a field of calm. The field stretches toward a horizon that invites rather than demands. You move at the pace of approval rather than panic. You remember a dream you paused because the world shouted too loudly, you press play again. The melody continues as if no time has passed. The presence asks you to bless the rooms you live in by living fully within them, open the windows and let the new season enter. Fill the corners with laughter that grows like ivy toward the sun. You become a lighthouse for those who share your ocean. Your beam does not rescue ships by force. Your beam simply proves that safe water is real. The message thanks you for reading with your whole heart, it thanks you for trusting what you feel even when no one else sees it. It thanks you for staying long enough to hear the quiet truth. 1 minute becomes 30 seconds and then only a few. The countdown becomes a count-in like the rhythm before a song begins. Your song begins now and it carries the warmth of hands you still miss. You take a step and the floor meets you with kindness, you take another and the room brightens. You take a third and realize the path was waiting for your courage. The presence kisses your forehead with light that does not burn. It seals this night with gentle authority. It promises to meet you in moments you will recognize by their tenderness. You gather your next choices like clean laundry warm from the line, you fold them with care and place them where your morning can find them. Your morning will find them because you prepared with love. The voice that needed no breath now softens into blessing. It says carry this peace into your conversations and your work. It says remember this line whenever fear returns because truth will outlast it. The final seconds arrive but they do not threaten you. They crown you with clarity. They release you into a future that already loves you. The message is complete yet its echo lives on, you are accompanied and you are safe. You are ready and you are strong. Tonight becomes a landmark you will refer to when you speak of turning points. You will say this was the moment your heart understood its own permission. You will say this was the night the love that never leaves proved itself again. You close your eyes for a breath and open them to a softer room. The softness is not an escape from life but a way to move through it with grace. Grace chooses you because you chose grace first. You sleep deeper than you have in a long time, you wake clear and kind. You carry the message forward in the way you treat yourself and others. The presence withdraws into the kind silence where love rests between visits. The connection remains because love does not require a doorway to enter. Love lives in you and speaks in the language of calm. Your steps tomorrow will sound different on the ground. They will sound like a person who knows they are held. They will sound like a future that has already opened. You are blessed in the ways that matter most. You are protected in the corridors you cannot see. You are guided in the decisions that shape your days. When noon arrives, you will remember tonight and smile without ache. When evening arrives, you will feel the same warmth at your shoulder again. When challenges arrive, you will answer with steadiness rather than fear. You walk forward with your head unburdened, you walk forward with your chest unclenched. You walk forward with your hands ready to create gentle good. The message bows and returns to the quiet, you bow to your own life and accept the invitation. The invitation stands and waits for no permission but your yes. This is your yes, this is your hour. This is your peace. Carry it, keep it. Share it by the way you live. The present smiles one last time before the night turns. A smile becomes a lamp that never dims. A lamp hangs in your heart and lights your way home. This is the end of the message and the beginning of your new way. This is the moment where memory goes no matter. This is the place where love does not end because love never needed an ending. Your path is open and your courage is awake, your breath is steady and your eyes are clear. Your life is ready for the kindness you will pour into it now. You step into the next minute like a sunrise stepping over the horizon, the sky receives you. The day cannot wait to meet who you are becoming. Hold this truth with both hands, keep it where you keep your most precious things. Protect it with the same care you offer to those you love. The message has done what it came to do, it placed peace in your hands. It showed you the door and watched you walk through it with grace. The presence fades into the calm but never into absence, the bond remains because it was forged in what cannot break. The blessing rests on your shoulders like a shawl that fits perfectly. You breathe once more and notice the room feels new, it feels new because you are new. The night agrees and becomes friendly. Love guards your steps and clears small stones from the road. Love sends warm strangers into your day who feel oddly familiar. Love keeps speaking in ways you now understand. You will return to this message when you need the sound of home, you will hear it without reading because it lives inside you. You will move with it and the world will notice the steadiness in your walk. The clock reaches a gentle zero that does not shout, the countdown is complete and you are lifted by it rather than haunted. The blessing stays and grows. You know what to do next and you will do it kindly, you know what to release and you will release it safely. You know what to keep and you will guard it with love. The presence whispers a final assurance that you can carry anywhere, you are not alone and you will not be. You are loved in a way that time cannot measure. Sleep if it is night and rise if it is morning, either way you are held. Either way you are guided. Carry this light forward and let it ease other rooms, carry this calm forward and let it soften other storms. Carry this love forward and let it become the way you move. Thank you for opening your heart when it was easier to close it. Thank you for choosing tenderness when the world demanded noise. Thank you for believing that love could still find you and prove itself. Now rest with the quiet certainty that you are watched over, walk with the quiet power that you are accompanied. Live with the quiet joy that your future already recognizes your name. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $1.20. The night steadies around you like a kind sentinel and lets your breath move without strain. Your thoughts line up the way books do when a gentle hand sets them straight. Clarity grows in simple ways and stays because you finally invite it to stay. Archangel Michael says the bridge between worlds is safest when you walk it with calm feet. Calm is not laziness. It is disciplined trust that refuses to be dragged by noise. Tonight that trust becomes the room where your heart can hear instructions. Begin by choosing a small, sacred corner for remembrance and renewal. Place a clean cloth, a photo if you wish, and one object that feels like warmth. Each time you pass this corner, nod to it the way you nod to a dear friend. Light matters, so let morning see you before it sees the clock. Step near a window and practice 3 slow breaths counting the rise. Honoring the release, welcoming the pause. The pause is where guidance plants its flag. Make a list called Quiet Winds I Will Kib. Let the first line be soft water every morning. Let the second be movement that greets your joints with kindness and respects your current strength. Let the third be words that do not bruise your own name. Keep the list short and living, a document that grows with your courage. Each check mark becomes proof that grief has not stopped growth. Your loved one in heaven is not far. They are near in every good decision you choose. They meet you in the space right after compassion and right before action. That is the harbor where your boat can always dock. You will notice small signs without chasing them. The right song will arrive when your chest is tight, and it will untie the knot, a feather, a coin, a sudden scent, a light that flickers. Kindly accept them as reassurance, not as tests. On days that ache more than others, move at half speed rather than no speed. Half speed still counts as forward, even when small, multiplies when you sleep. Open the box of your old letters and bless them. Not every word needs to be read, not every memory needs to be relived. Touch the edges, thank the lesson, and let the paper rest. There is work to do and you are equal to it. Pour your attention like tea, measured, warm, enough for the moment in front of you. When the cup is empty, refill with breath, not panic. Feed your body simple things that remember sunlight. A bowl of fruit, a plate of grains, water that has learned to be clear through patience. You are building a steadier instrument for a steadier song. Write one paragraph each evening titled "What Stayed Kind Today." Celebrate small mercies, the way you answered softly, the way you left on time, the way you kept one promise to yourself. Kindness repeated as power disguised as ease. When old guilt knocks, read it at the threshold, but do not invite it to sit. Offer it the truth you carry now. You loved as you knew how, and you are learning a better how. The door remains open for airflow, not for occupation. Keep an envelope labeled bright receipts, slip in notes of gratitude, compliments received, moments survived, minutes of courage. When the weather inside you turns, open the envelope and spend proof. Return to the rooms that feel heavier and do one act of order. Fold the blanket fully, line the shoes, carry the stray cup to the sink. These small agreements with reality reintroduce peace as a habit. Archangel Michael says your boundaries are bridges with gates, not walls that punish. A good gate swings and locks and swings again. You decide the rhythm based on values, not moods. Practice speaking a new sentence to your own reflection. I am allowed to be gentle and still be strong. Watch how your shoulders understand the instruction. Watch how your plans become clearer when tension loosens its grip. There is a friend you have meant to thank for a long time. Thank them this week in simple words and let the gratitude be enough. The bond will strengthen in quiet ways that outlast noise. Your craft, whatever you make or mend, deserves a clean table. Veer it. Set only what is needed within reach. Begin with the smallest edge of the task and let completion gather like dew. On the nights when sleep resists, use the four corners of calm. Name something you can see that is steady, something you can touch that is soft, something you can hear that is kind, and something you can remember that is true. Turn the pillow and invite the future to meet you where you rest. You are allowed to keep joy without apologizing for it. Joy does not erase grief. It teaches grief to speak in quieter tones. In that conversation, wisdom grows. Not every door that opens deserves your steps. Check, does this path honor the version of you who survived? If yes, proceed with measured grace. If no, bow and let the door close. The house of your days benefits from seasonal cleaning. Sweep out stories that no longer fit your size. Polish the good memories until they reflect courage back at you. When a sudden wave of longing rises, meet it with a hand over your heart and a soft "I hear you." The wave recognizes respect and passes more quickly. Your breath remains the shore no storm can steal. Write a letter to your loved one and seal it with the intention of release. Place it under your pillow for one night. In the morning, move it to a safe place or burn it safely and let the smoke carry what words cannot. Choose a phrase that becomes your lantern for the month. Let it be short and full, only gentle steps. Nothing right. Bees first, repeated at thresholds, doorways, elevators, screens until it becomes muscle memory. Call your strength by its quiet name. It is not stubbornness, it is loyalty to life. Stay loyal to life even when the weather argues. Plan a small ritual on the day that means the most to your memory. Walk the long way. Cook their favorite dish. Play the song that held your hardest hour. The ritual turns ache into art and art into a bridge. Practice leaving rooms better than you found them. A chair straightened, a light turned off, a word repaired. The world notices and begins to treat you the way you treat it. Archangel Michael says the sword you carry is discernment. It cuts cleanly through clutter and untrue pressure. Use it not to wound others, but to free your time. Build a 2-minute mercy habit. When you feel overwhelmed, set a clock for 2 minutes and do one small repair. Reply, rinse, stretch, breathe, toss tidy. Mercy becomes momentum without drama. Your future self watches with gratitude as you choose steadiness now. Away from a shoreline you are already walking toward. Each decision today is a step on that sand. There is a season for saying yes and a season for saying no. Your wisdom knows which is which. If your chest tightens, wait and breathe. If your chest opens, proceed. The body is not the enemy. He is the messenger. Keep a book by your bed that speaks softly to the better parts of you. Read a page when the night is loud. Close it with a promise to act on one line when day arrives. You are learning to carry memory like a lantern instead of a chain. The lantern makes paths visible. The chain only makes noise. When you meet unkindness, return to dignity rather than defense. Dignity keeps your hands free to build. Defense keeps them busy with air. Create a simple altar to the life you are saving your own. On it, place a small stone for endurance to live, for growth, and a thread for connection. Touch the thread each morning and remember the bond that never breaks. There will be moments when you feel the room brighten for no reason. Smile back. The veil thins in gratitude. Write a page titled Ways I Keep the Door Open for Good. Fill it with gestures as ordinary as they are powerful. Answer the phone with warmth. Hold the door for a stranger. Keep a small stash of extra kindness for difficult hours. Good uses open doors. Archangel Michael says your name is safe in the mouth of tomorrow. Tomorrow pronounces it with respect because you are earning your own respect tonight. Keep doing the next right, simple thing. When you feel rushed, you return to cadence. Speak more slowly, walk more steadily. Think in sentences that end with a period. Periods are doors that close so rest can enter. Your loved one is proud of the way you continued even when no one clapped. That applause will arrive as outcomes, stability here. clarity there. Quiet all around, results are the most truthful cheers. Imagine your life as a garden with 3 beds: health, work, love. Each day, water one deeply and touch the soil of the other 2. Rotation keeps the harvest honest. Keep your promises small and fulfilled rather than grand and abandoned. Completed promises become bricks. Soon you will notice a house rising where there was only air. If tears come, let them be water for the seeds. If silence comes, let it be shade for the roots. If laughter comes, let it be light for the leaves. Your calendar does not need to be full to be meaningful. Leave white space the way composers leave rests between notes. Rests make music listenable. There is someone younger who watches how you carry hard things. Without speeches, you are teaching them that steady is possible. Keep teaching by living. When fatigue speaks, listen for the boundary underneath it. Perhaps the task belongs to a different day, or a broken process needs mending before effort continues. Listening saves more time than pushing. Allow yourself to celebrate tiny endings. The last dish washed, the last email sent, the last mile walked. Closure is a fuel you can make at home. You don't have to wait for life to deliver it. Leave the past with the same grace you used to leave a clean beach. Take only what nourishes, leave no new trash. Thank the tide. The tide has carried you this far, it knows the way out. Archangel Michael says your courage looks best when it is quiet and consistent. Wear it daily the way you wear breath, unnoticed until needed. Ready when called. At readiness is the true shield. Your loved one's blessing is a weather pattern that moves with you. On difficult days, it becomes shade. On cold days, it becomes a shawl. Wear it openly and without apology. Before you sleep tonight, place your hand on your chest and speak your full name once. Then say, I am safe, I am guided. I am allowed to heal. Let the macros hold what you no longer need to hold alone. In the morning, rinse your face as if washing away last decade's fear. Meet your own eyes and nod. Begin again on purpose, every threshold you cross. Front door. Street corner, office entrance. Whisper. Walk in peace, walk out proud. Watch what consistency builds when a phrase becomes a path. Pass, remember the feet that respect though. There is nothing left to prove to the past. Here is everything left to offer to the present. Avert gently and completely. If a memory stings, change its frame rather than its facts. Place it in the gallery of lessons learned in luminous survival. Curate your museum with mercy. Keep a small coin in your pocket as a token for turning moments. Each time you touch it, choose a kinder action. Over weeks, the metal will warm with proof. Plant something, even if only a seed in a jar by a window. Watching new green reach toward light will steady your faith in ordinary miracles. Miracles enjoy being witnessed. Your steps, from here, belong to the slow drum of wisdom. Your choices, from here, belong to the lineage of those who kept loving after loss. Your days, from here, belong to a sky that recognizes your name and answers with calm. And when night returns, as it always does, remember, you have built lamps, rituals, and rooms where peace lives. You have learned the route back to yourself. you have proven that love across time, across veils, across distances continues the work of guiding you home. Archangel Mitchell says your steadiness tonight rewrites old forecasts. The weather inside you begins to favor clear skies and patient rain, fields that once refused seed now welcome careful planting. Practice the art of beginning without ceremony. Lay one clean page on the table and let the pen touch it calmly. The first line can be ordinary and still open a golden door. Carry a small notebook titled Evidence of Return. In it, record each quiet moment you feel guided or held. Over time, patterns appear that comfort the eyes and strengthen the spine. Walk the familiar streets with new permission. Notice the balcony with flowers you always pass but never truly see. Let the color remind you that life continues to bloom in simple places. Choose one corner of your mind and sweep it free of repeating noise. Tell the echo it can rest because you are listening in gentler ways now. The echo grows quiet when respect arrives. Prepare a shelf for tomorrow's victories. Leave a glass clean, a key visible. A plan written in 5 plain steps. Tomorrow appreciates a welcome as much as any guest. When memory sends a heavy wave, stand and stretch for 60 heartbeats. Movement greets the wave like a calm wall that does not need to fight. The water lowers itself and carries away the sting. Keep a small blessing jar where you place folded notes of relief. Write when the ache loosens. When the phone brings kindness, when the light finds your face. On hard evenings, pour those papers back into your hands. Let music become a bridge you can cross without effort. Choose a song that held you once and let it hold you again with less ache and more warmth. Psalms become companions when honored. Speak your name gently at thresholds and watch how rooms respond. Wombs recognize people who arrive with respect. Respect opens cupboards the heart thought were locked. Map your week with honest lines. Give rest its own roads. Enjoy its own lanes. Travel slowly enough to notice the markers that say you are on course. When an old fear tries to negotiate, offer it tea and a firm table. Tell it the facts of your courage and the schedule you now protect. Fear respects schedules backed by love. Build a ritual around light. Open curtains early. Light a candle at dusk. Carry a small lantern of purpose into your work. Light remembers your face when you return to it. Practice forgiveness in graduated doses. Begin with the small places where disappointment accumulates like dust. Wipe them clean with one decision and breathe easier. Create a drawer for tools of calm and keep it organized. Place a soft scarf, a grounding stone, a letter that steadied you, a list of safe words. With what is your word in the day? Archangel Mitchell says your boundaries are acts of hospitality toward your peace. You invite what nourishes and you kindly redirect what drains. The doorframe learns your standards and stands taller. When you notice the sky turning, pause and name 3 good truths. Say that you are here, that you are learning, that you are loved beyond measurement. Truth spoken aloud rearranges inner furniture. A friend will appear with timely clarity. Accept their words without arguing for your old limitations. Agreement with goodness accelerates healing. Practice departing from heavy conversations with grace. Offer a final kind sentence and excuse yourself with dignity. Dignity is the quiet carriage that carries you home. If your hands shake, let them shaking is the body's way of letting thunder exit safely. After the storm leaves, pour yourself water and thank the vessel that is you. Choose a symbol for companionship that never ends. It might be a ring of playing metal, a leaf pressed in a book, a single star you greet at night. Symbols train the heart to return to calm on cue. Tend to your finances with the same compassion you give your memories. Order the receipts, make the plan, initiate the gentle correction. Stability is kindness wearing numbers. Practice closing loops the day you open them, a message answered, a dish washed, a promise completed in miniature. Loops closed become sleep earned. Learn the weight of the word enough, enavaris, enaviver, enavaru, enov kindness. Enough is not scarcity, it is precision. When you feel called to speak, choose tone before text. Tone carries meaning the words cannot carry alone. Let your tone be the river that guides the boat of your message. Repair a relationship with yourself that you postponed. Write one apology to your own heart for years of unnecessary pressure. Follow it with one pledge to move gently and keep it public enough for your calendar to notice. Heed the calendar of Buravit rather than Butamit. Mark the days you met yourself with patience. Watch the chain grow until patience becomes the default you trust. If anger rises, divot a pen and a timer. Tell it to write for 5 minutes without breaking the page with harm. When the bell rings, thank it for its truth and file it where action can use it. Cook one meal with full attention and no rush. Stir like blessing, season like memory, plate like gratitude. Eat slowly and let the body understand peace by taste. Invite beauty into your effort. Place a plant by your desk, a smooth stone on your dashboard, a soft cloth near your tools. Beauty steadies focus without noise. Archangel Mitchell says your breath is a ladder you can climb anywhere. Count 5 rungs up, hold on the landing, descend with a smile. Ladders become bridges when used with care. Name the room you are in a sanctuary when you need it to be. Sanctuary is a decision first and a location second. Once chosen, the walls agree. Give your grief a task so it does not try to drive. Ask it to water the flowers of memory. Polish the frames, keep the lamp filled. Reef becomes helpful when entrusted with care. Release the habit of bracing for what has not arrived. Today's shoulders carry only today's weather. The forecast improves when bracing ends. Write a small blessing for strangers and carry it in your pocket. Speak it under your breath when you pass people on the street. Blessings spoken quietly. Repair the speaker first. Choose a bedtime that respects your nervous system. Prepare for it like a sacred appointment. Arriving on time becomes an act of devotion to your future self. Create a list titled Things That Are Already Working. Include the reliable kettle, the honest friend, the plant that keeps reaching. Momentum grows where gratitude keeps records. When comparison prowls, feed it facts. Your path is specific, your timing is honest, your pace is faithful. Facts calm the appetite of envy. Walk without your phone sometimes and listen for the world's older rhythms. Notice how trees keep appointments with wind. Keep your own appointments with calm. Place a small mirror near your front door with a message on its frame. Let the message say, return soft, leave proud. Each crossing becomes a ceremony of self-respect. Archangel Mitchell says the future speaks fluidly with people who keep their promises to the present. Keep one promise before noon and another before dusk. The language becomes mutual and easy. Establish a weekly hour for tending what is quiet but crucial. This is the hour for mending clothes, reconciling ledgers, refreshing flowers, cleaning lenses. Quiet maintenance prevents loud emergencies. If you must cry, schedule the cry with dignity. Sit, breathe, allow, complete. And by washing your face and stepping into air that knows your name. Adopt a mantra that honors your endurance. I continue kindly. I move with mercy. I build without hurry. Repeat until the body remembers with you. Listen for laughter in unexpected places. Let humor loosen the clasp. Grief keeps on ordinary joy. Laughter is allowed in sacred rooms. Keep one small adventure on the calendar each month. A museum, a market, a long bus ride to a new cafe. Adventures teach the heart new syllables for wonder. Practice asking for help in the simple dialect of honesty. Name the task, name the timeline, name the gratitude. Help arrives faster when it hears clarity. When dreams visit, treat them like guests that brought coded gifts. Note the colors, the rooms. The old face is now kind. Gifts reveal themselves to those who write them down. Learn the signature of your yes and the footprint of your no. Yes feels opening and steady. No feels clean and quiet. Live by these sensations like trusted instruments. Stack your mornings with 2 anchors, one physical gesture that wakes the body kindly and one mental gesture that frames the day. Anchors keep boats honest when rivers run faster. Let patience become your reputation. People trust the steady hand that never performs panic. Trust returns to the giver multiplied. When you pray or reflect, include your own name in the circle of care. Place it there without apology. You belong among the ones you protect. Archangel Mitchell says the love that reaches you from heaven prefers simple doors. It will use your breath, your quiet, your ordinary chores to visit. Keep those doors unlocked by gentleness. If guilt tries to narrate, hand it a smaller microphone. Invite compassion to hold the main stage. The story changes tone when the host changes. Organize your digital life as an act of mercy. Folders with honest names, photos curated with love, files that know their homes. Order online creates order within. Stand in sunlight for 90 seconds and let your face memorize the warmth. The body keeps such records and replays them when needed. Warmth stored becomes calm released. Practice ending the day with a sentence of closure. This day is complete. I did enough. I return the rest to tomorrow's care. Closure invites deep sleep. Carry a small pouch for found blessings. A coin, a leaf, a handwritten thank you to bright thread. When you touch the pouch, you remember that good continues to find you. Revisit the places that once felt sharp and look again. Time sands edges when you choose healing. Your gaze becomes velvet where it used to be glass. Allow yourself to be surprised by your own capacity. You held more than you thought, and you still chose kindness. Capacity grows in rooms where grace is kept. If someone fails you again, practice clean endings. No speeches that wound, no doors slammed from pride. A clear goodbye respects the lesson. Write an annual letter to the one you love who now lives in light. Tell them what you learn, what you repair, what you planted, what you released. seal it with gratitude and keep moving. Let generosity guide its sustainable levels, what leaves you whole. Whole givers create longer blessings. Archangel Mitchell says your life has turned the important corner, the road stretches and the air smells new. Walk with your head steady and your heart unafraid. Grasp your mornings in simplicity that does not demand applause. Comfort, cleanliness, and one touch of beauty are enough. Enough grows taller when honored. Keep learning names for calm in all its shades. Stillness, ease, clarity, gentleness, poise. Language expands capacity to feel. Place your phone face down when meals begin, offer your attention the dignity of a plate. Attention well fed returns as trust in yourself. Tend to your sleep as a farmer tends to soil, darkness, cool air, quiet, and consistent watering of routine. Crops of clarity rise from soil cared for. When someone compliments your progress, accept without deflection, "Thank you. I am working on it." The heart hears and believes you. Celebrate the day you notice that grief no longer speaks first. You did not betray love. You taught it to speak in harmony. Harmony is the sound of healing becoming whole. Keep patience for the next chapter even as excitement arrives. Chapters turn best when the page is fully read. You are a faithful reader of your own life. Archangel Mitchell says you have crossed from surviving into building. Building requires plans, rest, and a circle of honest hands. You have all three available now. Your feet know the cadence of safety and will guide you away from rooms that dim your light. Trust their wisdom. The body keeps promises to those who listen. Choose one tradition to begin this week that your future family will thank you for. It can be tea at dusk, a Sunday walk, a monthly letter to yourself. Traditions are bridges you build toward tomorrow. If sorrow returns stronger one day, do not measure yourself by it. Weather shifts even in gentle climates. You remain the land, not the storm. Sack your kindness like bricks and notice how height becomes view. From higher ground, old fears look smaller and new paths look possible. Views create courage without speeches. Return to your sanctuary corner and refresh it. Dust the frame, replace the flower, lay a clean cloth. Renewal at the altar invites renewal in the hours. Carry forward with the sure knowledge that love continues its work beside you. The work is ordinary and holy at once. Each step you take proves the bond that never broke. Archangel Mitchell says your new rhythm is honest and kind. The pace of your days obeys the wisdom you have earned. The future recognizes this dignity and steps closer without noise. Mark this week with 3 clean choices that honor your peace. Choose the early light over the late scroll and feel how mornings open. Choose nourishing words over heavy silence and let your rooms learn a gentler language. Choose completion over perfection because finished mercy is better than flawless delay. Fold what is tidy and forgive what is not ready. Progress likes people who move with patience. Jip a paper near the door titled "What I Am Protecting." Write your sleep, your focus, your heart's clean water. Read it before you say yes to demands that ask for what you cannot give. Organize one shelf so that your eyes can rest on order. Put similar things together and let the empty space breathe. Your mind learns from shelves and copies their calm. Treat your calendar like a garden and pull weeds kindly. A weed is any obligation that drinks water without returning shade or fruit. Remove it with care and plant one small joy in its place. Remember the strength of ordinary beginnings. A blast of water, 5 minutes of movement, one clear sentence to a loved one, these pieces gather and build a bridge you trust. Keep your phone from dining with you so meals can bless your nervous system. Food becomes medicine when attention is present. Medicine works best when taken calmly. Place a small bowl on your desk and call it the pause bowl. When you feel rushed, drop an imaginary stone into it and breathe. The pause gives you back the seconds panic tried to steal. Return kindness to your name each time doubt tries to speak. Doubt speaks in interruption, but you answer in full sentences. Full sentences steady the floor under your feet. Let your laughter return in brief, clean bursts. It does not dishonor memory, it proves survival. Survival, softened by joy, becomes living. Refresh your sanctuary corner with a new detail, a branch with tiny leaves, a scent that remembers rain. A cloth the color of calm. The corner answers with welcome each time you visit. Create a rule of 3 for decisions that matter. If it honors truth, preserves health, and protects peace, proceed. If it fails 2 of the 3, release it without regret. Keep a mercy drawer for yourself and others. Stock it with spare patience, spare snacks, spare softness for hard afternoons. Generosity begins where preparation quietly waits. Write a note to the virion of you from 1 year ago. Thank them for not quitting when the way was unclear. Tell them the way is clear now because of their courage. Notice how the sky keeps secrets gently without becoming heavy. Let your heart keep its old stories with the same soft gravity. The more lovingly you hold them, the less they pull you down. Choose a soundtrack for your errands that reminds your steps to be friendly. Walk through markets and stations like a person who trusts their belonging. Belonging answers those who carry themselves with care. Archangel Mitchell says strength loves a schedule that includes softness. Put softness on the calendar the way you put meetings and bills. Softness keeps the engine honest. When the evening grows loud, wrap yourself in ritual. Dim the lights, warm your hands around a cup, write one true line in a notebook. Ritual turns time into a room that protects you. Give names to the day so they remember their purpose. Mending Monday, Tender Tuesday, Water Wednesday, Thankful Thursday, Fresh Friday, Simple Saturday, Sacred Sunday. Names teach ours to behave kindly. Place a small reminder on your mirror that says return to breathe. Breath forgives your hurry and widens your options. Options increase when lungs are respected. Choose one person to bless silently for 7 days. Let your blessing be steady and without need for thanks. The heart grows spacious when it practices unseen goodness. Invent a closing ceremony for work so that home can remain home. Clear the desk. Write tomorrow's first task. Whisper good labor done. Doors close more gently when respect is present. Keep one book of calm within arm's reach of your favorite chair. Open it for a single paragraph instead of opening a worry loop. Paragraphs finish. Loops do not. Remember your posture when life speaks loudly. Stand as if a soft cord lifts your crown and anchors your spine. The body's calm becomes the mind's cue. When you give, let the gift leave your hand completely. Release the ledger and bless the distance it travels. Gifts find their rightful work when freed from control. Choose clothes that feel like permission rather than performance. Comfort is not a retreat from dignity. It is dignity's foundation. People look most trustworthy in what allows them to breathe. Place a small bell by your window and ring it at dusk. Let the sound remind you that day has done enough. Even bells rest between chimes. Keep one clean surface at home as a promise to clarity. Clarity breathes initiative and guards against the slow ache of clutter. The heart loves a table that welcomes beginnings. When memory arrives with sharp shoes, offer it slippers. Invite it to sit and speak without breaking your peace. Softening is respect, not denial. Practice greeting yourself at thresholds the way you greet honored guests. Welcome, good to see you, make yourself at home. Hospitality toward your own life changes every room you enter. Add a line to your quiet wins list. Call time I didn't argue with myself. Each spared debate returns hours to your day. Those hours become new strength. Keep your water bottle filled like a value respect. Hydration is a form of self-loyalty that asks for little and returns much. Little consistencies become great protection. Select one promise you can keep on your hardest day and memorize it. Perhaps it is the walk around the block or the 3-minute tidy. A smallest promise kept becomes a bridge over difficult water. Archangel Mitchell says your discernment is sharper and kinder now. You can say no without thorns and yes without fear. Balance arrives where edges are honest. Prepare a storm list for days that tilt. Warm shower. Fresh air. Nourishing food when called to a safe voice. Early rest. Storms shrink when plans are ready. Create small seasons inside your year to honor momentum. 40 days of gentle walking. 3 weeks of letter writing. A month of early bedtimes. Seasons give practice a horizon that keeps you sweet. Make a ceremony of turning pages in your life. When the lesson is learned, bless the ink and close the cover. New chapters love readers who honor endings. Tend to plan and let it to her your patience. Leaves do not sprint and roots do not panic. Growth is a quiet city that builds at night. When a room feels tight, open 2 windows, one for air and one for perspective. Clean air clears stories that curled into the cores, perspective straighten the frame of the day. Tell the truth kindly to yourself when you are tired. I'm human and I need gentleness. Gentleness restores more than grit alone can manage. Wear your gratitude like a small necklace under your shirt. It does not need to be seen to steady your steps. Its presence touches your pulse and reminds you of enough. Build a quiet course of phrases that return you to courage. I move slowly and still arrive. I protect my peace without apology. I was love then and I am love now. When you meet bureaucracy or long lines, practice patience as if it were a musical scale. The notes become smoother with repetition. People around you hear the music and soften. Keep your bed made as a daily vote for order. A made bed greets you like a friend who prepared a seat. Friendships with small tasks create loyalty to bigger ones. Honor the calendar day that once hurt with a new tradition. Plant something light. Lanterns donate quietly, rest deeply. Redemption loves a thoughtful schedule. Archangel Mitchell says your home is learning your name again. Walls become witnesses to your calm and floors become partners to your steps. Even the door knows you return carrying peace. Let your wallet reflect your values and hopes. Order the bills. Keep one note of affirmation, bless each exchange. Money listens when treated with respect. Practice leaving 5 minutes early and watch stress lose interest. The world is kinder when you arrive unhurried. Unhurried minds know his doors that hurried feet miss. Build a small library of letters from your future self. Let them be simple, proud, and precise. They will read like weather forecasts for better days, and they will be right. Ask your body what movement feels like kindness and do that, stretching this eyes. Walking that hums, stillness that resets. The body answers plainly when the question is gentle. Keep a sanctuary sentence on your tongue for public storms. I will revisit this with a clear head. The sentence is a key that locks your peace until you are ready to return. Return to the blessing jar and add today's soft victory. Perhaps you listened rather than rushed or paused rather than poofed. Soft victories add up to sturdy lives. Place a photo where morning light touches it and nod as you pass. The nod says thank you and I am still moving. Movement is the finest flower on the altar of memory. Gather your tools for tomorrow before sleep so dawn feels invited. Set out the cup. The shoes, the page, the plan. Invitations prepare joy to arrive on time. Let your voice grow warmer as you heal. Warmth travels farther than volume. People follow warmth without being asked. Honor your boundaries by keeping them simple enough to remember. One sentence for work, one for family, one for yourself. Simplicity protects better than a tangle of rules. Archangel Mitchell says your life has become a lighthouse by practice, not accident. The beam is routine. The height is integrity. The foundation is rest. Ships find their way because you found yours. And each day with a blessing for your own effort. You showed up with honesty and moved with care. Tomorrow inherits this goodness like a well-watered garden. Place your head on the pillow as if laying down a crown that will wait for you. Light guards your work with quiet respect. Morning will return it polished by sleep. Keep trusting the slow, friendly build you have chosen. It will hold in wind and welcome in sun. Your beloved in heaven keeps pace beside you in ways that feel like warmth, clarity, and timely ease. Walk forward with this steadiness stitched into your hours. Speak softly to yourself and firmly to your fears. Live in a way that proves the bond never broke and the road is truly yours.